Hello, I am Geeta Babu Singh, Assistant Professor in Electronics, Government Degree College, Kalburgi. I am welcoming you all once again to this session. In previous session, we discussed on routers and concept of routing. In today's session, we discuss on World Wide Web, that is nothing but WWW. So, as we all know, WWW stand for World Wide Web. Internet and web is not the same thing. As we all know, World Wide Web is also called the web, and it was invented by Tim Berners-Lee in 1989. The World Wide Web come into existence as proposed by him to allow researchers to work together effectively and efficient at CERN. Eventually, it became World Wide Web. So now let's see what is Wide Web. The World Wide Web is a collection of documents and other web resources which are identified by URLs. URLs interlinked by hypertext links, and can be accessed and searched by browser via the internet. So here we are using the hypertext link, that is nothing but any piece of text on a page that links to another page is nothing but our hypertext. Website is a collection of web pages belonging to particular organization. The pages can be retrieved and viewed by using browser. So as shown in this slide, we have the block diagram in which we are using one system that is nothing but client and another nothing but is a web server. Between is nothing but internet. So from a client, the request is for going for web page. Then from web page, the request is go to web server. By using HTML, the web page, that is web server replies using the HTML. So next is what is the work of World Wide Web? The client want to see some information that belongs to site 1. That is, as shown in this slide, we have the a block diagram, that is architecture of WWW, in which site 1 we have and site 2 also. So therefore the clients wants to see some information that belongs to site 1. So it sends a request through its browser to the server at site 1. The server at site 1 finds the document and send it to the client. So here client send the request and the server at site 1 send the web page to client 1. So again, when the client send request to site 2, again the site 2 send the web page B. So that is a web browser is a program which is used to communicate web server on the internet. Each browser consists of 3 packets: a controller, client controller, and interpreter. The controller receives input from input device and uses the program to access the documents. After accessing the documents, the controller uses one of the interpreters to display the document on the screen. So in this slide we have the figure which shows the client controller, client protocol controller and interpreter. Client is nothing but browser, internet is nothing but HTML, JavaScript and HTTP, and controller are nothing but HTTP, FTP, TP, Telenet, SMTTP. That is the server, a computer which is available for network resources and provides service to the other computer on the request, is known as a server. The web pages are stored at the server. Server accepts a TCP connection from a client browser. It gets the name of the file required. Server gets a stored file, returns the file to the client and release the top connection. A web page is nothing but a document available on the World Wide Web. Web pages are stored on web server and can be viewed using web browser. A web page can contain huge information including text, graphics, audio, video, and hyperlinks. These hyperlinks are linked to other web pages. Collection of linked web pages on a web server is known as website. There is unique uniform resource locator, that is URL, is associated with each web page. So web page again divides in static web pages, are also known as flat or stationary web pages. They are located on the client browser as exactly they are stored on the web server. Such web pages contain only static information. Users can only read the information but cannot do any modification or interact with the information. Static web pages are created using only HTML. Static web pages are only used when the information is too more required to modified. So in this slide we have the a figure of that is client and web server. So again, what is a dynamic web page? The dynamic web page shows different information at a different point of time. It is possible to change a portion of web pages without loading the entire web page. Server side dynamic web page is created by using server side scripting. There are server side scripting parameters that determine how to assemble a new web page, which also includes setting up of more client side processing. Client side dynamic web page is processed using client side scripting such as JavaScript, and then passed it in to document object model, that is DOM. So let us know what is scripting. Scripting language is used to create dynamic web pages. Client side scripting are programs that are executed on client side. Client-side scripting contains the instruction for the browser to be executed in response to certain user action. Client-side scripting programs can be embedded into HTML files or also can be kept as separate files. That is commonly used client-side scripting languages are JavaScript, VBScript, ActionScript. Server-side scripting acts as an interface for client and also limit the user access the resource on web server. It can also collect the user characteristics in order to customize a response. That is commonly used server-side scripting language are ASP, Net, Java, and Python. Many host name used for the World Wide Web begin with www because of long-standing practice of naming internet host according to the service they provide. The host name of web server is often www in the same way that it may be fit or for an FTP server and news for an NTP for a Usenet news server. These host names appear as domain name system, that is DNS, or subdomain names as in www.example.com. Thank you.